talked about it yesterday, just that chip on your shoulder. Everyone talking about a neutral AFC championship game, not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. Back-to-back champs, kings of the north with it. Thinking they can hang with us, still ain't jumped out the porch with it. Long bomb to chase every Sunday, watch him go and get it. Double up on him, then we gon' double down on T. Higgins. Then throw Boyd in the mix, now you really iffy. Every Sunday showing boys how to really gritty. They try to shuffle up the game on us, but they ain't icky. Flip the coin, kick the toe, Roger to go and get it. Never know what's gonna happen when Joe drop back. He get shiesty in the pocket, I get shiesty on the track. Nobody on the team all pro, that's all cap. Most all around team in the NFL, that's all fact. Ain't came across nobody yet that seem like they can hang with us. They said we couldn't be Buffalo, but see how we call they bluff. Underdogs every week, they keep on trying to label us. Put your money on us, even if Vegas don't favor us. No matter what, we really came up, now it's hard to fail. I dare you come across that middle, Von gon' ring your bell. I know we under they skin, them boys built frail. Eli Apple out there chirping like a next tail. You don't want Salmon Trey to come off them ends. Rita clogging up the middle like a big body Benz. Right behind them Logan and Pratt, the turnover twins. Jesse Bates in the backfield just to clean up the loose ends. We just drafted Cam and drafted Hill. Instant gratification every time that they on the field. We can't go back to what we was, cause that's the loser way. It's been hard to throw on us since we picked up a Woozier. It's like win after win, feel like we could really do it. Zach Taylor doing his thing for the city, I give it to him. And I bet Samaji will find a hole if you give it to him. Hayden Hurst don't need a hole, he just plan on running through him. Just hand it off to 28 and let him do the dash. Getting hit by BJ Hill probably feel like a car crash. Every week it seem like Lou digging deeper in his bag. And if the game on the line, all my favorite money match. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up.
What do we say, dog?
That's right, they gotta play us. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the show. This is Bengals Talk with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of America's team, Reds, Bengals. Either way, it's awesome. Do me a favor, if you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. You guys are awesome. I'm up to 2,213 subscribers. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. So if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter and you haven't subscribed to my channel, why not? Please do so. Please go to the YouTube channel, Bengals Talk with Strawberry Ice. Hit the subscription button, hit the bell for the notification, and every time I go live, you'll be notified. Also, exclusively in the YouTube chat crew, we're doing super chats. So if you got some interesting question and you want to ask Joe from Riverfront Bengals or support the show or just be nice and give me money, that'd be great. Give me a super chat. I greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'm coming to you live from this glorious place down here. It's the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. So if you need a house, an apartment, a condo, if you have a rental property you just don't want to manage anymore, give T Properties a shot and they will take care of the rest. And you know what? I usually wear it every day. I got Bengal stuff on today. But if you want to support a great cause, meaning the Joe Burrow Foundation or Joe Burrow Hunger Relief Fund, go to jackpotjoey9.com, buy some gear, buy a hat, buy a shirt, buy a flag, support the 2023 NFL MVP, Jackpot Joey Burrow. Put it down. It's going to happen. Get your gear there. Jackpotjoey9.com. What's up to everybody in the chat? Stranger, of course, you are always first. What's going on? Craig's in there. Jerome's there. What's up? Matt, what's going on? Samuel, how are you? Craig and Ken, what is up? All right, guys. So we have a new guest. We were talking to her and I on Twitter and everything, and I've listened to his podcast a couple times. He got the Riverfront Bengals. He got the Riverfront Reds. I'm like, hey, you want to come on the show? He's like, absolutely. Here's Joe from Riverfront Bengals. What's up, Joe?
What is going on, man? I hope I don't bring too many down by being a East Sider, but I am happy to be here, man. I appreciate you giving me the shot.
We let everybody in here. It's fine. We're one big happy Bengals sports family here. So the title of the show is, and then now the Reds have come out tongue in cheek, and I don't know how this got started, being America's team. Now we always know the Cowboys as America's team. Now I got to quote my boy, my main man, Austin Elmore, Sissy 360 this. He said, well, if you're going to be America's team, then you got to live up to the Cowboys, which means be overhyped and disappoint everybody all the time. So hopefully the Reds won't do that. But how much fun is it being a Reds fan, being a Bengals fan right now? And are we America's teams?
Yeah, it sure as hell seems like. I mean, even if you go into soccer with FC Cincinnati, I don't, I'm not much of a soccer fan. I'm getting into it more and more. They've got the most points in the entire was it the supporter shield? I forget whatever you get for having.
I don't know. I'm trying to get into it too myself.
I'm learning.
Yeah, I'm learning exactly. But I know they've lost one match.
Yeah,
and right there, that's awesome. I mean, because I went to my first soccer game a couple weeks ago. It was a blast. I had fun watching it. I didn't really understand all the rules. Like offside still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me that you can't run past your defender, but whatever. I don't get I don't understand that. Or I mean, I understand the rule. I don't understand why they have like that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, they're playing good. The Reds are on fire right now. The Bengals are coming off back-to-back AFC championships. I mean, it's like as a kid, like in the 80s, the Reds were good. The 80s, the Bengals were good. 90s, we're all right. Now it's like I said, my son's 23 years old. He never saw the Reds win. Still hasn't seen the Reds win a playoff series yet. Didn't see the Bengals win any playoff games till 2020. And now we might have some really good runs out of both of these teams with the talent the Reds have. Ellie coming up. Hopefully CES sometime soon. Matty Bats. I mean, it's just exciting just watching these guys play.
And that's not even taking Spencer Steer, who's probably the best performing rookie of them all. Mm-hmm. Andrew Rabbit. I mean, TJ Hopkins hasn't had much of a run, but I mean, I think he's got a chance to be a contributor. Even just the fourth outfielder guy. You're seeing the bones of a competitive team. There are still guys in the pipeline. Yeah, Encarnacion Strand. As soon as they figure out, there's just this huge logjam of guys in the infield, guys coming back from injury. He'll be up soon. I mean, people are freaking out, but he'll be here. Just take a deep breath.
He's coming.
Again, there's more arms coming up behind. You got Connor Phillips, who should be up in AAA, soon.
Yeah.
Noelvi Marte is going to come up and play shortstop when he gets off the injured list in Chattanooga and come up to AAA. There's a pipeline, and there's absolutely the core of the next competitive Reds team. That team apparently is here. Yeah. They're taking advantage of a soft schedule and a terrible division, and they're a game and a half behind in the Central. Exactly. I don't know how it's happened.
I know, and it's all the rookies, man, and they're all coming up hitting. Yeah. And I want to get this out there. I've been Ellie the other Cruz is, I think, in my opinion, going to be one of, if not the best player in baseball. I mean, he's got all the talent and everything. Everybody's kind of freaking out, like, oh, he's striking out. Like, well, his on base percentage is still off the charts. Yeah. I mean, let him figure it out. And you're talking off the air. I'll let you elaborate on what you said about what he did at every level of the minor leagues before he started hitting.
Yeah, I mean, he's a free swinger. He's always going to be a free swinger. I mean, the guy to look at for, I don't want to call it template, but, a guy that you might want to think of in terms of plate approach is Vladimir Guerrero, like senior. Mm-hmm. The guy hit balls that bounced in front of the plate, and he's rubbing them for doubles. It's going to take him a while. It's taken a while every time he went from single A to double A. His first 40 at-bats, struggled. From double A to triple A to start this season, first 40 at-bats, struggled. I was actually really surprised and excited to see how well he started his first couple of games. I mean, his first official at bat after he walked, he ripped 112-mile-an-hour double into the gap, home run. I absolutely just started busting out.
That ball had a family, Joe. Great call by say that.
I think that might have been the greatest, completely off the cuff call that I've ever heard. Cool. Just in the moment, John said, like there are people that don't like him and think
I love him.
He's fantastic. He's
barbecue sauce.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, he's in Kansas City. You've got why can I not remember Ryan? Sam Hubbard's. Yeah,
Sam Hubbard's holding the Believe sign.
Yeah, he's got the Believe sign. Yeah. You're in Kansas City, and he strikes out somebody and yells barbecue sauce.
Come on,
it's fun. He's having fun. Right. Enjoy it. But yeah, I mean, there's just Ellie's going to be fine. Mm-hmm. Just he's going to strike out a lot. A lot of players strike out a lot. Reggie Jackson struck out more than any other player in Major League history. Guy's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
It's okay. Yeah, we don't want guys to strike out because people still think that a strikeout is the worst thing ever, but he's going to be fine. He's going to settle in. He's going to learn pitch recognition. He's going to learn sequencing, how the players, how the pitchers are thrown to him and why. And he's going to be fine. Like, he's a smart ball player. Mm-hmm. He's brilliant on the base paths and on defense. He's going to be a game. Like he's going to be the face of baseball in 18 months.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the cover of the show by 2026.
There you go. Like Ken said, he's still a kid.
Yeah.
He's 21.
Just turned 21 a couple months
ago. He just turned 20. I know. I mean, he's literally a kid. I mean, and I think, like I said to you off the air, I said, not everybody can be Matty Bats. I mean, and I don't want him to. He's going to be overshadowed by Ellie because just what Ellie can do. But Matt McClain, Matty Bats is unbelievable. I mean, he is such a solid fielder at shortstop, second base, wherever you put him. He's a great hitter. I mean, he has come up and not missed a beat. He looks like I put this the other day on the show when he hit the game-winning hit. It reminded me of Jackpot Joey Burrow, where he was just kind of calm about it and said, well, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, my goodness, yeah, it was great. I did that. He's like, no, it's my job. We're supposed to do that. That's what a lot of these guys are like. They're coming like Steer. Like you said, he's been hitting all year long. They're supposed to do that, and the moment isn't too big for them right now. And like you said off air, and I've said this too, this team is reminding me of the 2020, 2021 Bengals, where you see the talent. And I kept telling everybody this in 2021. I said, just enjoy this. Because I didn't know we were going to go to the Super Bowl. You know, tongue in cheek, I said it on the air. You know, I didn't know if I actually believed it, but they went to the Super Bowl. That's what's happening right now. We have so much talent on the Reds, and because everybody's like, "Oh, we got to hurt and trade for this guy. We got to hurt and trade for that." Just pump the brakes. Just enjoy. Let these kids develop. This is a bonus year. We're not expected to come up and play this good right now. They're supposed to happen next year. And I was like, all right, 2025 is when we're going to be really good. Joe, I think next year we can be a playoff contender. Well, we could win a division this year. I mean, I'm not putting that out of the row possibility. But next year, we're going to be really damn good.
Yeah, I mean, this season, just by how well just the rookies, because none of the vets have really. I mean, can you consider Jonathan India a vet? I mean, he's still only in his third year, and last year he was injured.
On this team, he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's a granddad at 26 years old, but yeah, just by how well that the rookies and the and the young players have acquitted themselves, and even the pitching. Yeah, a couple of the starters have struggled, and they've had to cycle through a bunch of kind of retreads. But this is a team whose window legitimately opens next year to do damage.
Mm-hmm.
You keep and you hope that the front office has sticks with the plan.
Yes.
And that's kind of always been the issue with this front office. There's always people like they don't have a plan. Well, they do, but then something happens. They either come along faster than they expect and they blow things up and kind of go, I don't say go all in, but change their plan, or things go to crap and they just stick with the plan. Let things go through. Like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but just see it through to fruition.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the other end of the Tyler Malley trade. That's what I don't want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
We stole we got Steer and we got CES for Tyler Malley, which Tyler Malley is a good pitcher. I like it, but we stole him. I mean, that was a great trade right there. And that's when, like last year, I started saying, okay, I can kind of see what they're trying to do. I can at least see the plan. Before, we had this happen before where we just trade a whole bunch of people and we don't get anything back for them. Yeah. We get prospects. Like, okay, you got the 27th ranked third baseman out of the Yankees. Okay, awesome. Yeah. We're getting legitimate prospects for these guys. So that's where I'm like, okay, I can see this here. If they all hit, which so far they have, we got something here. Now, one thing I was telling you off there, and I've said this on the show too, our pitching staff. And everybody's figuring out we got to go get more pitching, which we do. Our starters have got to get better. But again, I want to let these guys develop. If you can get, if Hunter Green, Ashcraft, Lodolo should be back sooner than we thought, and Abbott, that's four guys. If all four of them could pitch the way we've seen them pitch on a consistent basis, Joe, we got the beginning of I've said this before, the Atlanta Braves on their run when they had three guys at first. It was Glavine, Smoltz, and Avery. Everybody forgets about Avery. Then they added Maddox, and they went on a 20-year run. I'm not saying the Reds are going to go on a 20-year run, but that's what it looks like to me. That could possibly happen with the talent that we have here and in the minors.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, there's still guys coming up behind them. Connor Phillips. Again, he'll be up in AAA soon. Chase Petty is going to be bumped up to AA soon to take his spot. That pipeline is still there. Again, just see it through and just fans enjoy this. Again, there's going to be growing pains. Again, we're watching it with Ellie. I mean, Matt McClain he's going to slump here soon just because It's a lot of averages. He's not going to hit 350 his entire rookie year. I mean, it'll be great, and there's
awesome.
not really any reason why he can't.
Right.
He's fast enough that his batting average on balls in play is going to stay crazy high, and he's got great contact ability, but he's going to go through a slump at some time. But this is a fun team just to watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether you take the America's team with a grain of salt or think they're being a little corny or whatever, but I mean, it's enjoy watching them grow, because this team, they're coming. They're a game and a half behind.
Yeah.
And you like, are the Pirates any good?
I mean, they're better than we thought they were, but I mean, I don't think they're any better than we are talent wise right now.
Right. Exactly.
I think you said off the air, one team we gotta be worried about, which will probably turn them around, which they always do, is the freaking Tweety Birds, the Cardinals. I mean, I can't stand them, but I mean, they're veteran laden team. They're going to eventually figure this out. And then you got the Brewers, who, you know, we almost got swept by when they came here in Cincinnati. So those teams are still, I don't know if I would say talent-wise better than us, but they're veteran teams and they've been there, done that, which that does make a difference in a pennant race. Now, you could go, the kids don't know what they don't know, and it might not matter at all, and we go in and we play great. So, but that's the fun part about this season, Joe, is to find out.
Yeah.
I'm just sit here, let it marinate, and let's see what happens. Because this, dude, 2 months ago, we're like, whatever, the Reds are going to lose 100 games again. Nobody cares. I mean, I was one of them. I'm like, I don't know. Then May came around. I was like, all right. Then I got more excited about the guys I saw in AAA. When I saw McLean, I saw Ellie and CES. I'm like, okay, when are they coming up? And that's the part that was exciting, is watching that and like, all right, I want them to come up. Now they're here and they're performing. And it's just, the thing is, we got 4 guys. Yeah, Steer, McLean, Ellie, and Abbott. 4 guys on one team who all could be in the running for Rookie of the Year. When has that ever happened in Major League Baseball history? That I don't know if it's ever. You bring up CES, there's a 5th one.
Yeah, I mean, in 2 years ago when India won Rookie of the Year, Stevenson and Gutierrez both got votes, but I mean, those guys were way down the list. Going into the season, if the Reds were going to play all the rookies, and I didn't think they were going to lose 100 games, but if they were going to play all the kids, I was going to be completely fine if they went 60 and 102.
Right.
Like, get them, I'd rather them do that than win 75 games playing retreads like Matt Reynolds, Jason Voss. Because those guys have no future with the team. Like, great. They're playing to get a signed contract with a contender. It turns out that they can win 75, 80 games with the kids. It's fun. And the energy, just the way that they're playing, just seeing the way they run the bases, just seeing how aggressive they are, and then just seeing how much fun they are. Pretty much everyone saw the post-game interview with Ricky Karcher the other day.
Wild thing, baby. Holy shit.
Never mind how absolute deer in the headlights that dude was. The fact that
was the greatest interview I've ever seen in my life. He was just like, I don't know what happened.
He legit, like, he was as accurate with the interview as he was, throwing the ball over the plate. And the best part was the entire team is standing at the top step of the dugout watching it, like laughing, cheering him on. Like this is his pitch chart.
Here we go. I was like, how in the hell did he get out of that? He's like, I have no idea.
21 pitches, 5 of them were in the strike zone. 1 was like a borderline strike. He got 9 strikes total because a couple swings on pitches out of the strike zone. But
he's at 3 of them above their heads.
Yes. I think that just based on that game alone, from that inning, Kurt Casale deserves a Gold Glove, or at least a Golden Shoulder, because jumping up on a pitch 98 miles an hour to catch a ball over your head. I can't do that catching my kids at they're throwing the ball at 65 miles an hour. Much add another 30. Man,
I would have threw my shoulder out. Like the last one, he got a glove on it, then he caught it with his hand. And,
yes.
And the thing is, he didn't react at all. Like, come on, dude. At least he was just like, all right, and that's what helped.
Yeah,
that's what helped Ricky. That he didn't, show him out or anything. Didn't react like, dude, come on, throw straight.
Right.
It was a very calm influence on him, which that's awesome. That brings me to, all right, since you brought Casale up, is it time? And I'm not trying to get rid of Kirk Casale. Just said what a great job he did. Yeah. But to me, it's time to get rid of the 3 catcher.
Yeah,
Stevenson's got to play catcher. I mean, I think he hits better when he's a catcher. There's no other place he's not playing first base anymore. They don't have anywhere. He doesn't do as good as DH. And to me, the DH first base role, if they bring them both up, if Votto is ready, it's Votto and CES. One of them's at first base, one of them is DH, and is what I think is going to happen. And that's where I think it's time to be done with the 3-catcher role, don't you think? Or what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, injuries and other like Steer balling out at first base, I think that kind of took Stevenson out of playing a lot of first base, because that was the whole thing. It was every 10 games he was going to be 2 games at first base, whatever, like whatever the split was going to be. But yeah, he's not playing first base at all, so he's DHing. His bat, even when he was hitting the ball well last year and the year before, his bat isn't good enough to be a first baseman or DH. He just doesn't have enough thump. I mean, he's a good contact hitter. He's going to rope doubles, but that's funny. But if he can hit the way that, that he's now hitting better, that's a really good bat for a catcher. So yeah, they need to get rid of one of the catchers. I think it probably has to be Casale. I mean, neither one is going to be a great hitter.
No.
I think Melee is a better defensive catcher. He's got a better arm. I mean, he's got an absolute cannon.
Yeah. I love Kurt Casale too, which sucks. I mean, I really do.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was all for signing him. Like I was a little disappointed when they signed Melee in the first place, thinking that took them off of that took Casale off the table.
Right.
But yeah, I think one of them, it's time for one of them to go when they're again, they've got 4 guys coming off the injured list here within the next few days. Yeah, Fraley isn't too far behind. So, I mean, they got a bunch of guys that are getting healthy. So there's going to be a lot of decisions to be made. You can't just all send down all these outfielders.
Right.
So,
yeah, for me, like once they get I love Senzel, but I don't think there's a spot for Senzel. I mean, as of right now, I mean, the way I see this is the way I see it in the second half. I think if Votto can come up and can hit anywhere close to him, which people are like, oh, Votto should just go off to the sunset. If there's any chance we can get Joey Votto here to help mentor these kids even more than he already is, because he's doing it when he's on the bench. I know he's down in Louisville right now. To me, that's invaluable right there. And if he can hit anywhere close to what Joey Votto can hit, I'm all for it, because I mean that's just another bat. We need power. So my thing is, you got CES at first base or Votto at first base, and the other one DHs. That's where I'm at. Then you got I think India's at second, McLean's at short, Ellie's at third, Steer's out in left field. And I love Friel in center. I like him leading off, and then Fraley right field, and Will Benson. Kind of put them out there. But I really like Fraley Friedel. Sorry, Friedel leading off. I like his little scrappiness and everything. I think he's a pretty good defensive center fielder, and that's not a bad starting 9 right there. And Stevenson catching, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of questions. I mean, everyone was concerned that the outfield was going to be terrible offensively, and they're not great by any means. No. But again, TJ Friedel has outperformed pretty much everyone's expectations, and he hits lefties better than righties, which is odd for a left-hander who doesn't have a ton of power.
Right.
So yeah, I think he's earned right now an everyday spot in center field, and yeah, use him as leadoff because he gets on base and he's got speed. Everyone on this team has speed, but
yeah,
the other outfield spots probably move Steer to left field. I would entertain India playing out there a little bit too, just because defensively he's the weak link.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think eventually, McLean is going to be at second, and Ellie's at short.
Yeah,
and third base could be Steer or India is what. But I don't know if they're going to do that in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
I think it's Steer's already proven he can play the outfield. Yeah. As of right now, I think that's the best move. In the future wise, I think India's going to move somewhere else, but I think it might be not till next year. That's just my opinion.
I wonder about that. He's been taking balls, taking more at third base, so there's a chance that they'll move him over there. I like moving guys back and forth. Yeah, I think McLean is, if you want your best defenders, and Reds infield defense has been pretty bad, so it's, I think you're going to see India more, maybe DHing more, when it gets later, and, would have to worry about putting your best defense out there, or at least later in games, moving them, right. Double switching them out or something. But yeah, Ellie is short and McLean at second, and you've got guys that can play third. I mean, Encarnacion Strain came up playing third. McLean or Ellie can play there. Steer can play there. Yeah. India.
Senzel.
Senzel. India came up as a third baseman, so did Senzel. So I think that's honestly, I think that's where Senzel's role is, to be a utility guy, and I'm hoping that they're just showcasing Newman to try to just get a more Brandon Drury like return for him in the trade market, because he's somewhat useful, but I think Senzel's is better. He's better bad. He's better. He's got better speed.
Better athlete.
Yeah, exactly, and he can do similar stuff plus play the outfield. So, but yeah, I mean, we're reaching to the point now. It's like, well, we've got more good players than we have spots to put them.
Right, and you still got another one. You still got Will Myers.
Yeah,
they signed him. I don't see them just cutting him for I don't know the money offhand how much you signed for him, but
$6 million, and he's got $1.5 million bonus for next year. I think they do. I think they do.
I don't know. Which I mean, they did for Moose. They just cut him so they could, but I can also see them coming up and let him play for a week or two and try to see if they can get something for him. But if he comes up here and he doesn't hit, and we got Benson crushing the ball, and hopefully Fraley comes back, and he was hitting because Fraley was really pounding the ball before he got hit with the pitch. So I mean, there's not a place for Myers to play, honestly.
Yeah.
But I would like to try and get something for him. But right now, I'm going to get some bag of baseballs for him. That's about it. So
yeah, because that's the thing. You bring him up, and you're risking. I mean, not that he's a bad influence or a presence or anything like that. I mean, everyone seems to like everywhere he's gone, he's been a pretty well liked player, but now you're taking before it's either he's playing or Jason Vossler or some other never will be or taking at bats for him, but now you're gonna have to move guys and sit guys that are legitimate pieces, and he's only signed he's probably, if you were to waive him today, there's probably a $5 million between what's left of his deal this year and then the $1.5 million buyout. Right. That's really not that much. They've got their payroll's so low this year anyway. The money's palatable, and that's even with paying Moose to suck it up in Colorado.
Right.
And Shogo, I think Shogo's off the books now. That was last year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hope he doesn't come up and then they just play him to justify paying him.
Right. Which is what they would have done in the past.
Yeah.
But again, I'll say this, that the same thing I would say about the Bengals, this is the new Reds. They're doing things differently. So they might cut him. I mean, and honestly, just getting rid of him is honestly the best move, just because they have so many guys that are good young players that need to play, that to help for the future of the Cincinnati Reds. That's more important than get Will Myers at bats to hopefully try to trade him, to maybe get somebody for the future. You already got guys who can play and are here right now. You need spots for them.
Yeah.
So it's interesting what's going to happen. And now I'm bring back to Votto here. Where are you at on Votto? Are you one that is for Votto coming back, or are you one that just says, thanks for your service, we'll sit out the rest of the year?
No, he's 1 year removed from having a season where he had a 139 OPS, 139 OPS plus. He's still, and what happened when he messed up his shoulder and his bicep. He was injured last year. I don't expect him to. What do you have? 36 home runs. I don't expect him to hit 36 home runs.
No.
Or have that similar type, the same type of power. But I still think he's going to be a damn good hitter. Even last year, for as terrible as he was, his OPS plus was still 88. I mean, it's only 12% worse, and that was an awful season, absolutely terrible season
for him, for anybody. Well, for him especially.
Yeah, exactly. And he still wasn't terrible. He's still better than a lot of the guys that are getting at bats. Better than what Kevin Newman has. That's better than any of the catchers. So yeah, I mean, I wholly expect him to be a productive player, playing 2 out of every 3 games, maybe 3 out of every 4 between first base and DH. So.
Now, one guy that surprised me, like a week ago, I would have said that this is definitely a guy that could be option back out. Fairchild. Yeah. He all of a sudden, I mean, I won't say the catch, but where he dove and trapped the ball last night, that alone was an unbelievable play. Yeah. And he didn't get the out, but if he doesn't make that play, that's at least a triple, if not an inside the park home run. Then he comes back and hits a home run. I mean, when he first came up, I'm like, they can knock the bat out of his hand. Now it looks like he belongs here. I mean, it's kind of, Joe, like everybody they're bringing up, they're producing. It's awesome and shocking all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be guys that are quality ball players that they're going to have to that are going to be sitting at AAA, or that they're going to just have to let go and send off to other organizations. Fairchild, I think, is a really good 4th or 5th outfielder.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's by no means am I saying starter. I'm just
right. I know. Right. But yeah, I mean, a couple weeks ago, everyone's would have been like, yeah, he's got to be the first to go. But he plays really good defense. He's a really good base runner, and he's got pop.
Yep.
His issue has always been contact and on base skills. Like he's always has a really low on base percentage, but he's a useful player to have around. But that's someone that he's probably going to be more useful to a team that's not the Reds, that has higher ceiling guys coming up.
Right.
He's got a higher floor than than some of these guys, just because we know who he is. But
I think a higher floor than I thought he did when I first saw him. First couple weeks, I'm like, I don't know this guy's work. But now it's like, all right, I think we got something here. He could be definitely a productive major league player for us.
Yeah.
Now we can roll this into the Bengals here, and one thing that we're saying about the Reds is a lot what we've been saying about the Bengals. The Reds have so much talent. We have more talent than we have spots for right now, which is a good thing. And I'll roll that into the Bengals and the offensive line, where we have more talent than we have spots for. Because Jonah Williams finally came in the camp, and he said exactly what he should have said. And I understand why he was a little salty, a little upset, because the Bengals not only I don't think they could have called him, with the whole Orlando Brown thing. I think it happened so fast, but they never called him to say, hey, we got Orlando Brown. We're going to move over the right tackle, which I thought was a little crappy. They should have at least called him. But with that being said, you got Jonah Williams at right tackle, Zeus at left, Kappa at center, Karras and Volsa as your guards. This is the best offensive line we've had since 2015. And you still got Jackson Carman. You still got L. Collins behind them. I mean, it's not only one of the best offensive lines we've had in a while. We got depth, Joe. That's one thing that we've needed. Super Bowl. Reef was hurt. AFC Championship game. Kappa and Lel were gone. We always get injured on our offensive line, and people are always like, well, we got to trade Jonah. Why the hell do you want to trade Jonah? Why do you want to trade any of them? I mean, I know it's a lot of money to have LC on the bench, but you put him on the pup list for the first 6 weeks and see what happens. Again, I'm not in any rush here to deplete our depth here that we have on this offensive line for once.
Yeah, there's no reason to burn through that depth or to get rid of it before you have to. I think that there will be, depending on how some of these spots fall out, I think teams are going to come to the Bengals and try to get, try to pick somebody up, whether Collins or Jack Carman or somebody, when they see how the depth chart shakes out. But yeah, there's no need to waste any of that. I mean, it's keep the guys. You see what happened last year. Had 3 starters go down in successive weeks in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive line was finally playing up to potential the last half of the season, playing well. And then all of a sudden, boom, you've got Max Sharping playing meaningful snaps. And Max Sharping playing meaningful snaps against Chris Jones is a really, really, really bad sign for the Bengals, because that end of the season.
Exactly.
And Akeem Adeniji, I like Akeem Adeniji, but he's a swing tackle. He's a 6th offensive lineman. He might
not be on the team this year.
Yeah, that's one of the other guys that I think that teams are going to be looking at for someone to possibly pick up at the end of camp. Exactly. And the Bengals can swing another BJ Hill for Billy Price type deal. Price. Yep. Yeah, I mean that's cool.
I'm here for it.
Bengals trading from a position of strength. I'm right. Completely okay with that. And I cannot remember the name. I'm trying to look at the Bengals. Ben Brown. The they undrafted free agent they signed last year, that if he were healthy, he would have been like, he's got a lot of ability for interior of the offensive line. So there's even more draft than people even think of, people even know about.
Right.
So they're in a good spot. I like it. It's weird feeling. I don't want to say confident, but not here shitting bricks, expecting,
what happens if this happens? What happens if this guy gets hurt?
Exactly. Fearing as soon as game 1 comes on, facing Myles Garrett, all of a sudden, like, Joe Burrow's going to have 5 passes batted in the air, and
we don't have to worry about. Well, okay, we have to worry about Jonah Williams moving from right to left. He's going to be fine. Yeah. That's the worst thing. We got LC, who had a back issue before that. We had Riley Reeve, who's 38 years old. Yeah. We have the most solid line we've had. Now, Ken here, he goes, do you think the front office regrets giving him an extension now? I think he means Jonah Williams. Absolutely not. They don't regret that, because he's their starting right tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, now my thing is, this is one thing I've said this about Jonah. When he proves he can play right tackle, he's already proved he can play left tackle. You can say whatever you want about him playing left tackle. It was an average left tackle. He was hurt last year. 2 years ago, he was our best offensive lineman. I get so sick and tired of people crapping on Jonah. Jonah's a good left tackle.
Yeah.
But if he goes out and balls out this year, proves he can play right and left, he's going to, I mean, either the Bengals are going to give him a bag or he's going to get a bag from somebody else. It does nothing but help Jonah out in the long run, proving that you can play multiple positions, which is what his coach in Alabama, which for some freaking reason he slips my mind. Who is the coach of Alabama, the football team?
Saban.
Yeah, Saban, which Saban said that to Bill Belichick that he can play multiple positions. Yeah. So if Saban says it, I'm pretty confident he can do it.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Saban is he knows a little bit of football. He's done fairly well for himself over the years. And here's the thing: you're paying your starting right tackle $12 million. That's really not a lot.
No, compared to what other ones are getting, hell no.
I mean, look at how much Taylor is getting from the Chiefs to play left tackle. Wait a minute, never mind. You're not good enough. We're going to immediately move you back over to the right side and sign someone off the street to play for you. So, and he's making twice that. So, yeah, I mean. To pick up, I mean, and it wasn't even an extension. They just picked up his 5th-year option. So it's not as if, play out this year. They've got another year to figure that spot out. Now, ideally, you want 5 guys set for multiple years, but that doesn't happen.
No.
I do have a concern in a couple years because Kappa and Karras aren't getting younger and you don't have a right tackle of the future, but you've got a left tackle for multiple years. You've got Volson for at least 2 more years after this, and you've got time and you've got ability to build depth. So,
yeah, they're gonna have to address that here in the future. Now, with that being said, now Jonah will be a free agent next year, and this is one thing we do this on Bengals and Brewers and on mine, and I want to add Jonah to this list now because I don't know why we didn't put him on the list, but the guys that are free agents that are not we're excluding Joe out of this. We're not putting Jackpot in this. But yeah, T. Higgins, DJ Reader, I'll put Jonah Williams in there, Logan Wilson, and Chidobe Awuzie. How do you rank those? Which is from 1 to 6? So I'm gonna throw Jonah in there too, because honestly, if he balls out, they might want to resign him, to solidify this offensive line. Where are you at on guys that are number 1, number 2, number 3 to the a must sign or one that if they let him go, you can see that this is last year. Also, TB's in there too. Sorry, Tyler Boyd.
I'll start at the bottom of the list. TB and Jonah, I think they've already come to grips with those guys are gone next year.
Right.
Tyler Boyd, they've already brought in a couple of replacements for him to kind of learn underneath him. His interview that he had a couple of weeks ago, he understands this is his last year. Mm-hmm. They've got to pay guys, and he's already made his 2nd contract. And he's still going to be a useful, very good football player for the next handful of years. It's just going to be in someone else's uniform.
Right.
Same with Jonah Williams. They've I don't want to say they've written him off, but if he goes and balls out, then he's going to price himself out anyway. And if he isn't good, then they're not going to want to keep him.
Right.
I kind of want to exclude T because I think he's going to be signed anyway. So I don't even think it's a matter of, in terms of importance.
If it's just when.
Yeah, exactly. I think as soon as I wouldn't be surprised if they announce his and Burrow's deal together, just because Burrow is the only thing I'm saying holding up, but just trying to hammer down the numbers on that so that they can then move down the list,
right,
and get T's. From the other guys, probably DJ Reader, because again we were talking before we came on live. He's so good. He's a guy that if you can get quality depth behind him, and I like JT Finley. I like some of the guys, but they need someone better behind him so he can be more on a pitch count and just play, let's say, fewer steps, but quit having not have to play as many snaps. He's going to be a contributing player for 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, he's going into his age 30 season, but I think that's the guy that they need to keep around.
Yeah.
In terms of Cheeto, I don't know. I think he's in a bad situation because he's coming off the injury. Now, he looks fantastic. I don't know how he's you see some of the footwork drills that he was running.
He's running around without his knee brace, which that scares me.
No knee brace.
Yeah, which is, I guess that's a good sign, but it just scares me that you're doing all this without a knee brace after coming back from major knee surgery. But
yeah, I mean, that's damn good genetics and a hell of a lot of hard work.
Right, exactly.
I think they're preparing for him to be gone, which is, again, why they got DJ Turner so high. I think they'd like to keep him around. I'm not sure. I mean, how old is Cheeto? I'm trying to look.
He's got to be getting, because 27?
28.
28. All right.
28 right now. Okay. There's be age 28 season. I'm not sure when his birthday is, but I can definitely see them trying to keep him around for a decent number. And if he, I don't want to say struggles, because you don't want to think that he's going to struggle. I mean, if he's healthy, I think he's going to ball out. But I think he's probably the next one that they would look at keeping.
Right.
Logan Wilson, I was a lot more optimistic about them keeping him before they went and shelled out a lot of money for Jermaine Pratt.
Yeah.
But that being said, Pratt didn't get a ton of money.
Right.
So it's showing where the linebacker market is. But also, do you want to have that much money tied up in 2 linebackers in 2024 when, linebackers, not that the market is depressed on them, but the value to paying multiple linebackers second contracts isn't there? I don't know. I like Logan. I think he's a better 3-down linebacker and a better, safer bet for a 3-down linebacker than playoff P, but I don't know.
Ball hawk too. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. He makes plays. I mean, he absolutely makes plays. I don't know. I think they'll probably sign him maybe for 2 or 3 year deal. Not going to be as long. Not going as we would have thought going into the offseason. But yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
who really knows? Who else was I missing anyone, or did I get everyone?
You got everyone. Now the one thing I want to roll back to DJ, and this is where I can see them signing DJ and cutting Trey Henderson, which is nothing against Trey Henderson.
Yeah.
I love Trey Henderson. But they did draft Miles Murphy, who plays Trey Henderson's spot.
Yeah.
And you could cut Trey after next year, roll that money or part of that money into re-signing DJ, because you don't have anybody to replace DJ or even back him up right now. That's really you're comfortable with. That being said, our pass rush right now, on paper, could be one of the best in the league with the 4 guys that we could have coming off the edge, which with Joseph Osai. I know everybody talks about the AFC Championship game, but before he hit Patrick Mahomes out of bounds, he was balling out. He was having his best game. And he started ramping it up. I think he is going to have a huge year this year. You got him, and Sam and Erickson can actually take breaks. Or DJ has actually said he has to yell at them to sit on the sideline. So, which they have guys who can come in there, and it just helps those guys in a long run, because it is a long season. We're hoping to play 20, 21 games this season, which that's a Super Bowl run. We need these guys to be healthy. We need these guys, like you said, DJ, Sam Hubbard, and Trey. We need these guys on pitch count so they are healthy and not wore the hell out, by the time you're in the playoff run to make plays for us. And that's what we have as far as this NASCAR package. But going back to Erickson, I think this might be his last year just because of the depth that they already have at his position, and they don't have it in DJ's spot. That's one thing where I hate to say it, but I see Henderson gone after this year. Just my opinion. Yeah,
it's not a matter of whether Trey's going to be a useful player so much as it just comes down to value and money crunch. Because again, Bengals have proven they're putting the bulk of their money on offense, which is fine. They need to make sure you're drafting well on defense, which they seem to be doing the last couple of years. Next year, Trey's cap hit is 17.5. If they designate him as a post June 1 cap cut, it's $2.5 million.
Right.
So like $2.5 million in dead money. So I definitely can see that as a possibility. Again, it really depends on how well the other guys play out. I think Miles Murphy's going to be a fantastic player. It's whether Osai proves that
that's the key,
that he can stand up for 17 games plus the playoffs, because he missed all of his rookie season, blowing his ACL in his first series as a professional player in an exhibition game
after he sacked the GOAT Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly. He had Tom Brady running for his damn life in one series. Tom Brady isn't a nimble guy, but he's a guy who knows how to manipulate the pocket.
He's still Tom Brady.
Move around to avoid the pressure. And Joe Osai had him absolutely just running for his life.
Exactly.
But yeah, if Osai can prove himself durable and just provide solid pass rush off the edge. And again, we all expect Miles Murphy's going to be a stud.
Mhm.
Then I think, it's a possibility. I'm not going to say probability because the Bengals still don't cut guys as often as they can and as often as other teams do, or renegotiate.
And
It'd be
just
great
Joe
if
Mixon.
yeah, it'd be great if they renegotiated Trey's
Yeah.
contract
Right.
and keep him around for a couple years. But he's making 14th highest, as 14th highest amount as for an edge rusher, and he's probably worth that right now. But next year he's going to be 30. Is he going to be the 14th best? And that money's going up. So
And that's the window where the Bengals have been getting rid of guys. And I don't, which brings you to DJ. I don't think they're going to do that with him unless Zach Carter just balls out and they think they're going to be okay with him next year and draft somebody. I don't know. But I'll get this comment here from Crypt Keeper here. He says, "Hey, Joe, is that the old Nippert Stadium picture behind you?"
That is Nippert Stadium behind me. I'm a season ticket holder for the Bearcats. So
There you go.
that's
I
my
used to.
Bearcats tattoo. And
Yeah. Dude, I'm a huge Bearcat fan. My dad used to have season tickets. I used to go all the time, but
There
he
you
got rid of them. Grandkids got into sports and everything, and he couldn't go, so he got rid of his tickets a while ago. But one of the coolest places to watch a college football game, I'll put it up against anybody, is Nip at Night. It is one of the greatest atmospheres in college football. I'll put that. And it ain't the world's largest cocktail party, but for what it is, it's awesome. That is one of the favorite places to be at night.
It is loud as hell. I mean, just because of how the stadium is, it's sunken, it's below ground, and for those that haven't been there, and it's surrounded by all these campus buildings. But it's in the middle of campus. It's hard to really explain to people who aren't from the area that don't know the geography. So that sound just bouncing off of all these buildings, reverberating. There's only 40,000 people, but it sounds like there's
80.
It sounds as loud as some of these SEC schools. With 85, 90,000 people in the stands. The atmosphere, it's just a fun, awesome place to watch a game. So
one of the cool things is people don't realize that they've actually been playing football in that spot for 100 years.
Yeah.
As my dad has told me, that's just the way they put the stadium there, because that's the way the land went.
Yeah.
It was a natural bowl. Now, if you walk down it, they've dug it out. I don't know what year they did that, but you walk down the stands, it goes like this, and all of a sudden it kind of drops.
Yes.
So you're like, whoa. So if you had a couple beers, you might fall down the stairs pretty easily. But
that's getting really, really steep.
Really steep, really quick, because that's where they dug it down. But we can do a little Bearcat talk here. What's your thoughts on the Bearcat? I'm ecstatic about them going to the Big 12. I'm not as hyped up as I would have been if we still had Luke.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, well, weren't you excited when they got Luke in the first place? I'm like, well, no, not really. I mean, he was at Ohio State, and he was the defense coordinator, and the one year he was the head coach, they didn't do that good. So I'm like, okay, cool. I hope he does good. I had no clue it was going to turn out the way it was. Now we got Satterfield from Louisville, who, in my mind, kind of ran away from a bad situation that he possibly could have created himself. That's where I'm kind of like, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm just not. I got to see what he can do. It's kind of where I'm at. What's your thoughts on UC's football program?
Well, Luke Fickell was the kind of safe, boring yawn hire.
Right.
Proved everybody wrong, balled out. The team, like, he built the absolute identity, just this tough, hard-nosed, taking the identity of the neighborhood, and Clifton style, and did a fantastic job for the organization. How he left was kind of Brian Kelly-ish. He had a foot out the door that last season.
I was more shocked that he left. I was shocked Kelly left, but I was really shocked that he left, because he turned down all these other jobs when we're in the AAC. We're going to the Big 12, and I know it's Wisconsin, but you built this. You're the reason. He's the main reason that UC's in the Big 12. I mean, it is. It's Luke Fickell.
Yeah.
And you didn't see it through. That kind of surprised me, because he just got done building a house. He built a basketball court with UC all over it, a barn, and all his 25 kids there. And, so he was establishing roots here. I didn't think he was going to go anywhere. So I was really shocked that he left.
He would have been gone in 21. He would have taken that Notre Dame job. He absolutely would have taken that Notre Dame job if UC wasn't staring the college football playoff in the face.
Right. And now I see that, yes.
and this was, and here's why he left. Wisconsin is a good, not great, Big Ten job. He knew the program was going to take a big step back going to the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he stuck around, it was going to take a big step back. I mean, you're not playing South Florida. You're not playing Temple. You're not playing East Carolina. East Carolina play, they always play their absolute asses off, but East Carolina is East Carolina. Like that's, you're taking a gigantic step up in competition. And he didn't want to make that jump. He didn't want to start back over and then have not that his cachet or his Q rating would drop far, but I mean, he had his choice of the pick of jobs if he wanted them. And, suddenly you go down and the next hot coaches are going to come up and take those big jobs that open up. So that's why he left when he left. Satterfield, I wasn't great in Louisville. My brother lives in Louisville. He lives next door to their assistant athletic director.
Okay, cool.
The athletic department is a garbage fire.
So maybe he left a bad situation to a better situation.
That's it. I mean, the athletic department just is.
That's right.
There's just a lot of crap going on behind the scenes that I understand why he stepped up. And I mean, Louisville fans were ready to, they were happy. Like they're
happy he left
with Braum, but
but
like you still have the same people in the same administration. And now, granted, they were able to leverage NIL money and bring in a lot of good recruits. They didn't do well with those recruits, but again, I'm more optimistic with his hire, just seeing the amount of investment that that the university has put into the football program. They built new positions. There's now like a general manager position, basically just guys
for
to
NILs.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. They basically completely modernized and upgraded the football operations to try to stay as on top of NIL money and NIL landscape as possible. You're still a number 2 football school in the state. It's maybe even a number 3 football school in the state because Michigan, number 4, Michigan, Notre Dame, those guys are still going to get their pick of guys over UC for the top end recruits. But I think football is going to be fine. I think it's in 2 years, maybe 3 years. They're going to be battling in the top 3-4 spots of the Big 12. It's going to be, I have no idea what to expect this year. They have so many new guys all over the spot.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Crip here he's drinking the Kool-Aid. He said, guys, have you looked at our schedule? I see a Big 12 championship run. Actually, I have not looked at the schedule, to be honest.
Oklahoma's coming to Nip, and I'm excited for it. I forget the rest of the conference. They don't play Texas.
I went to the game when Oklahoma played us down at Thomas Paul Brown Stadium. And
Same,
we got heads kicked in.
it wasn't a bad game. I mean, they played well. It's just in the second half. I mean, you saw the talent pull away.
Right now, and see, that's the thing with going into the Big 12 is the talent. Do we have the talent right now to compete with these teams? That's kind of where I'm at, and of the talent that we lost. I'm not sure. And granted, the Bengals have been a big topic for me, and the Reds right now. So I haven't really looked at what UC has right now, to be honest. But I just don't know if the talent is there to compete readily. Now if we had the team we had in 2020, then hell yes, I'd be perfectly fine with it. We had a couple NFL players on there. I don't know if we have an NFL player on our team right now.
Dante Corleone.
Okay, forgot about him.
That guy. I mean, he is an absolute monster. He was one of the best players in all of college football as a freshman, as an interior defensive lineman. And they've got a lot of talent, and they had a lot of guys that kind of came up around this, kind of built together at the same time for the 2020-2021 season. Mm-hmm. Again, I really don't. I mean, they could go 0-12 this year. They could go 6-6, 7. I don't know. So many guys left. So many guys came in, and like the names and the profiles that came with them. Like, hey, this guy can play. Like they got some good pass rushers. They got some receivers that have ability. Now, receiving is going to be a lot different, and I think that's where they're going to struggle. Also, Emory Jones. Are we going to see the Emory Jones that showed a lot of polish and a lot of promise in Florida, or are they going to see the Emory Jones that was meh out in the desert out in Arizona State. I think Emory Jones should just keep the seat warm until Brady Drogosh takes over. I'd rather them start him as a true freshman. He's going to be a stud quarterback if they can keep him in the fold. And again, same as the Reds, just play the young kids. You're starting kind of from scratch, and you don't want them to get their get their brains beat in and lose games 70-0, which isn't going to happen. But it's going to be an interesting season. I'm more optimistic for UC basketball over football, but.
Yeah, that's the fun part is because we are going to be going into the best college basketball conference in the country. Big 12 is the best. And this is going to be the year that we're going to find out if Miller is the coach we think he is.
Yeah. He's
the recruiter we think he is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some kid that top 5 or top 10 recruit that is considering UC. I heard that the other day. Tony Pike was talking about
Flory Bedunga.
Yes.
Yeah, he's in Indiana. He's in Indiana right now. So yeah, they have him leaning or the crystal ball on the 24/7 spot. The crystal ball going to Cincinnati.
Yeah. So I mean, and I like Wes Miller.
Yeah.
This is the year we're gonna. I think I hate to say that this is the year we're gonna find out, but it's his 3rd year, and I'm always like, you gotta at least give a coach 4 years. You gotta let him install his program, get his guys in here, and people last year drive me nuts. We gotta get rid of Wes Miller. He's only been there 2 years. This is the year he's got to start making a step where we can see his coaching prowess, see what he's trying to implement to actually work. You got to give this stuff time. They're college kids. They're only here for 4 years. Some of them, if you're really good, are here for 1, maybe 2, especially in basketball. So that's the thing is you got to give it time. You got to let them. It's kind of like you're saying with the Reds. Got to let the young kids play. Let Wes figure this out. But to me, this is the year that he's got to do something. And hopefully, I'm hoping we get back to the tournament. I mean, with us being in the Big 12, we have a better shot at getting in the tournament because they could take 5 teams from the Big 12 easily. 6, 7 teams. Yeah, it could be more. Yeah. So we have a really good shot of making the tournament just because of the conference that we're in.
Yeah.
And I want to get in there and I want to get past the 2nd round.
Yeah.
But I want to get back to the tournament. So I'm excited about that too. So what's your thoughts on UC basketball?
Yeah, actually, I think this past year, for those who were paying attention for more than just wins and losses, saw that Wes Miller is a hell of a coach. This was not a talented team last year, and they almost scratched and clawed their way into bubble contention. I mean, they had guys injured. I mean, it's been a revolving door the last couple of years with the whole debacle with John Brannon.
Yeah,
guys that are just coming out of the system. He's got a very talented group of freshmen coming in. He's got some really talented guys coming through the transfer portal. It's got the big center from Utah. Whatever team knocked him out of the tournament this year. Utah Valley State.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the dude's name, but they just went out and stole the center.
Right. Want to kill us.
Yeah, they got Reynolds from Temple, another big body. They've got big Vic Energy coming back, Vic Lock-in for another year. Again, they've got, makes me feel really crazy old Edgerrin James kid as a prized freshman. Jizzle James. Yeah, as a basketball recruit.
They also got the local kid coming back too. What is his name?
Rayvon Griffith.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's also he's a freshman this year. So I mean, they have the talent is there. So like I said, I'm excited about talent.
Yeah. And
I think Wes Miller is a good coach. I think we need to see it more this year, and I think we will with the talent.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like I said, last year you saw, he has a better style that's more modern. The problem, and that was kind of the issue with Mick Cronin. He was very much a Bob Huggins disciple of guys just play crap load of defense and run this really slow, boring as hell offense to watch. To where it's not a lot of movement. I like John Brannon's offense, but
I love
turned out to be a flaming asshole.
Yeah.
But it's more modern basketball. It's free flowing. Like it's not positionless, but you've got to have guys that are available to, you've got to have guys that can cover 2-3 positions. You got to have your bigs have to be able to handle the ball. You get guys that are going to be able to have to shoot the ball. It's a more beautiful game to watch. It's less just knockdown, drag out fights that Mick Cronin, Bob Huggins had around here for 25, however the hell long it was, too long because for the fact there really wasn't much success past the early 90s. See, I'm optimistic. I really think that they're going to have a good season. It's of the new teams coming to the Big 12, they're going to have the best season by far. I mean, Houston's a damn good program.
I beat Houston.
Maybe Houston's still going to be, but
my God,
because they're losing guys. But I honestly, I think UC might have the best.
Houston is us. Houston is us of 5 years ago. They play like we do. I cannot stand them. They drive me. I would have beat them so bad. I can't. Anyway, that's just I don't like Sampson. I'm
not a Kelvin Sampson fan.
No, I can't. I cannot stand them. Anyway, Joe, we've been on for an hour. I appreciate you, man. This has been cool. I mean, like I said, it's America's team here, or America's city. This is a fun time to be a Cincinnati fan. Now, even Xavier, I'll give you a shout out. They're going to be a good basketball team. I mean, I don't like Xavier, but yeah, we can throw it out there. So some people are like, you never talk Xavier. I'm not a Xavier fan.
They're Norwood's basketball team.
There you go. So, I mean, we got a lot of good teams here. I mean, and it's just amazing to be a Cincinnati sports fan right now. So that's what's so much fun about doing this show. And anyway, tell everybody about your show before I let you go, where they can find you.
We're the Riverfront Bengals Show. Obviously, that's my Twitter handle underneath there. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We are on YouTube. Chad Dotson's been doing the regular Reds show for 16 years. He's the longest running Reds podcast in the world. We've been doing the Bengals for almost a year, started about the beginning of last year. So, and we have fun with it. Greg Neiman and I, and we try to bring people in that have interesting things to say. So I might, if Jeff isn't too busy, and his like drag him on for a show here too. So
sounds good. Just let me know. And I have to reach out to Chad, get him on here. We'll bring you and him both back on here. We can talk some more Reds when we're making our playoff run here in the second half of the season.
I'm here for it.
All right, brother Joe. I appreciate it, man. Go have fun coaching baseball, brother.
Thanks, man.
See you, dude. All right, guys. Make sure you go follow Joe and check out Riverfront Bengals and Riverfront Reds. They're a really good podcast. Like I said, this is a fun time to be literally just a Cincinnati fan. The Reds are exciting. We know the Bengals are got. FC Cincinnati is doing good. I mean, I know some people tell me, why don't you talk about FC Cincinnati? I don't know enough about soccer to talk about it. I mean, I'm trying. But it's fun to watch them. I like winning teams. UC going to the Big 12. We don't know about the football team. Basketball team's going to be a lot of fun, I think. But it's just, if you would have told me 20 years ago, we're going to have 3 professional sports teams, they all be good, and UC probably be good at the same time, I probably would have called you a liar, but it's going to be fun. Anyway, let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. And as always, I appreciate every single one of them. They're Houday Nation, Houday Legion, Radical Reds, Bearcat Ruckus, the Ice Bar, the Ohio State Bucknuts. And then you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is @Jeff A. TikTok is @Iceman90. I'll be pulling off the sound later on tonight, putting on the podcast. It's on BeanPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. Leave a 5-star review. Leave a comment so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. YouTubers, you guys are awesome. 2,213 subscribers. That is awesome. I've been doing this for 5 years. I love it. This is so much fun. I appreciate you guys. Do me a favor. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, please go subscribe to the channel. Go subscribe to Riverfront Bengals. That helps us out. Retweet the show. Tell everybody about it. Go get Tony Pike for me. Go on my Twitter poll. Vote yes. I had what is it up to now? Let me look here. I couldn't believe how many people said no. I have 30 people saying no for Tony Pike to come on my show. That's just hateful. It's at 70% yes, 30% no. You've got 13 hours and 11 minutes left. So if you guys want to go out there and vote, try to get Tony Pike on my show. I shout out to him and Austin and Skinny for just talking about my podcast on the show the other day. It was awesome. Hopefully I'll get Tony on. I know, I'll get Skinny back on here. He's a regular. But anyway, appreciate you guys. I say let's go watch the Reds, but they're not playing tonight. Off day. They'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow, actually at 6:30 tomorrow night. I'm going to have my boy Centauri. Miles will be on from Rally around the Natty, so it's going to be a little later show. So Centauri will be on with all his Centauri stuff. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6:30. Other than that, that's just sports, baby. See ya!
Talked about it yesterday, just that chip on your shoulder. Everyone talking about a neutral AFC championship game, not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. Back-to-back champs, kings of the north with it. Thinking they can hang with us, still ain't jumped out the porch with it. Long bomb to chase every Sunday, watch him go and get it. Double up on him, then we gon' double down on T. Higgins. Then throw Boyd in the mix, now you really iffy. Every Sunday showing boys how to really gritty. They try to shuffle up the game on us, but they ain't icky. Flip the coin, kick the toe, Roger to go and get it. Never know what's gonna happen when Joe drop back. He get shiesty in the pocket, I get shiesty on the track. Nobody on the team all pro, that's all cap. Most all around team in the NFL, that's all fact. Ain't came across nobody yet that seem like they can hang with us. They said we couldn't be Buffalo, but see how we call they bluff. Underdogs every week, they keep on trying to label us. Put your money on us, even if Vegas don't favor us. No matter what, we really came up, now it's hard to fail. I dare you come across that middle, Von gon' ring your bell. I know we under they skin, them boys built frail. Eli Apple out there chirping like a next tail. You don't want Salmon Trey to come off them ends. Rita clogging up the middle like a big body Benz. Right behind them Logan and Pratt, the turnover twins. Jesse Bates in the backfield just to clean up the loose ends. We just drafted Cam and drafted Hill. Instant gratification every time that they on the field. We can't go back to what we was, cause that's the loser way. It's been hard to throw on us since we picked up a Woozy. It's like win after win, feel like we could really do it. Zach Taylor doing the same for the city, I give it to him. And I bet Samaji will find a hole if you give it to him. Hayden Hurst don't need a hole, he just plan on running through him. Just hand it off to 28 and let him do the dash. Getting hit by BJ Hill probably feel like a car crash. Every week it seem like Lou digging deeper in his bag. And if the game on the line, all my favorite money match. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up.
What do we say, dawg?